Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Urban Libertarian here back again. And tomorrow, Thursday, is the big day that the Inspector General's report will be released. And apparently, Trump is going to meet with Rod Rosenstein. Rosenstein. Let me know which one is correct because I don't know. Please let me know. But something interesting that's going on is so apparently, the House Intelligence Committee has been trying to get a lot of documents from the Department of Justice, and Rosenstein's just stalling, and he's just not turning over documents, and it's starting to look really bad. And now, he's asking for an investigation into his own staff, essentially. And then I want to also talk about just some media studies and how different outlets are covering this. But let's have CNN just kind of go into this for you a little bit.
The Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, the spat between him and House Republicans seems to be escalating, specifically members of the House Intelligence Committee.
Right. This goes back in January where there was a very heated meeting at the Justice Department over the turning over of documents. Rod Rosenstein is now saying that when he gets back from a foreign trip, he's going to ask the House to launch an investigation of the staffers that were part of this meeting. Apparently, there were some things said, and the Republicans in the meeting think that Rod Rosenstein was threatening them. And so back and forth here, we're seeing it's going to be escalating now because he's asking for an official investigation.
Rod Rosenstein has frankly shown.
Okay, so I mean, there we go. That's more like factual. Okay, so look, they're trying to do their job as the oversight committee, and Rod Rosenstein's just they're not. I mean, look at this. We're barely getting the Inspector General's report tomorrow. It's been out for a couple weeks now, or it's been complete, and we still haven't seen it yet, right? So this dude just hasn't been. He's just been blocking access to documents. He's stalling them, and he's actually impeding their investigation, right? I'll get into more of that, but this is funny. Listen to these guys, how they spin everything.
Shown a lot of courage over the past year.
Oh, he's shown a lot of courage.
The House Republicans are really out to get him. They are doing Donald Trump's.
Oh, the House Republicans. See, the House Republicans are just out to get Rod Rosenstein. I mean, that makes sense. This sounds like when you're a kid and you're like, I don't know, the teacher just hates me, right? When you're the one that's being an asshole disrupting the class. Oh, they're just out to get me.
Work. They really can't stand him. They regard him, I think, correctly as Robert Mueller's protector. And here,
he even says correctly as Robert Mueller's protector.
Rosenstein is standing up and saying, you know what? Not only am I right, but staff members are.
See, is he right? So they're saying, look. He's saying he's right to not let you, the public, know what's going on with your taxpayer dollars.
Potentially even committing crimes by sharing documents that you weren't supposed to share.
I think what we're seeing is that Rod Rosenstein is telling Devin Nunes, okay, put up or shut up.
Okay, so they're even kind of admitting that he is threatening him. Okay, so here's one way to look at it. Here's National Review. Okay, and it's basically saying that Rod Rosenstein's subpoena threat, he's trying to subpoena these staffers, is showing that he really is conflicted. Okay, really quickly here. The House Intelligence Committee is investigating whether the government has used the Justice Department's awesome investigative authorities as a weapon against political adversaries, okay, which means they're investigating, okay, if the Justice Department under Obama, okay, used the DOJ against Trump, which they did. It's so fucking obvious. It's not hard. Come on. These journalists just pretend dumb. I can understand that, look, the normal everyday people, they don't study these issues. They just don't know, and that's why we have such a misinformed public. They have no clue. Okay? But these journalists should know better. They really should. But anyway, so that's what's going on, okay? So it's just kind of ironic. So we learned yesterday that in response to this very investigation, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein threatened to use the Justice Department awesome investigative authorities as a weapon against political adversaries. So you can kind of see, it's almost like what do you call it? When you're in court or whatever, when they show that you've already committed a certain type of crime that you'll maybe more inclined to commit that crime again. It shows a pattern, I think, is what I'm getting at. It shows a pattern of abuse. That Rosenstein threatened to subpoena the committee's records does not seem to be in serious dispute, okay, except in another article, which I'll show you. There are different accounts about why. House investigators say that Rosenstein was trying to bully his way out of compliance with oversight demands. It's funny because CNN was saying that he didn't want to get bullied. The Justice Department offers the lawyerly counter that Rosenstein was merely foreshadowing his litigation position if the House were to try to hold him in contempt for obstructing its investigations. Either way, the best explanation for the outburst is that Rosenstein is best by profound conflicts of interest, and he's acting like it. Okay, totally. So the first thing to bear in mind about the news reported on Tuesday by Fox Catherine Hedridge is that the dispute in question, which is just one of many during the Justice Department stonewalling, happened 5 months ago on January 10th. So what was going on back then? Okay, it just goes on to this, okay? So, I mean, I guess I'll get into it. So basically, they're trying to get the FISA court, they want to get the details on those whole warrants that for the eavesdropping on Carter Page, who's actually a spy, on the former Trump campaign. And if you don't know, I mean, it's probably going to come out. I should do more videos, but oh my God, this is such a complicated issue. And that's why the public just doesn't really know about this, because it's so much easier to get into Stormy Daniels. But, you know, I can't even really get into this. I didn't really want to get into this article. I highly recommend you read it. It's from National Review, but it just goes into why we're asking for all these documents, because it's just ridiculous. Okay? So here, I'll just skip. So we learned that the Justice Department FBI, in fact, submitted to the FISA court the Steele dossier allegations from Russian sources, okay? From Russian sources. So it was Hillary and the FBI and the Justice Department working with the Russians, not even Trump. They were the ones working with the Russians. On the untenable theory that the foreign purveyor of these claims, Christopher Steele, was trustworthy, notwithstanding that he was not making the allegations himself, but instead was only relaying the claims of others, Russians. We learned that the FBI not being able to verify the dossier claims, okay? We learned that the Justice Department failed to tell the FISA court that the Steele's report were an anti-Trump opposition research project paid for by the Clinton campaign, i.e. paid for by the political candidate endorsed by the president, paid for by the party of the incumbent administration that applied for the FISA warrant against its political opponent. We learned the Justice Department failed to tell the FISA court it was discontinued by the FBI as uncredible. Okay, we learned that one of those contacts with the media, is from Yahoo News, had generated a news story that the Justice Department actually offered as corroboration for Steele on the false theory that someone other than Steele was the source for the story. So they made a feedback loop. Oh my God, I mean, it just keeps going on and on and on. 90s was authorized 2016, 3 weeks before the election. It was reauthorized 3 times. Well into the first year of the Trump administration, meaning that the FISA warrant application was approved at the Justice Department by none other than Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. So there's your conflict of interest. I mean, we can just go on and on and on, conflicts of interest, okay? So you can go ahead and read that yourself if you want. So here's Huffington Post. GOP Trump defenders ratchet up attacks on Rosenstein with dubious claims of threat. So it's the GOP who's attacking Rosenstein with dubious, right? With dubious means what? Like potentially false, right? What is the dictionary, right? Hesitating or doubting. Doubtful. Okay, so let's use the word doubtful. So doubtful claims of a threat. So it's doubtful that, it's already clear that the Justice Department bullies its political opponents or people it doesn't like or disagree with them. So why would this be doubtful? Doesn't make any sense, right? It's bullshit. It's total bullshit because you have a pattern of doing the same shit over and over again. So tomorrow's the big day. I mean, I don't know if it's a big day, but it'll be interesting. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.